Hello there everyone, this video is to offer a little bit of help and walk you through the Beer's Law Simulation Lab a little bit. In the case of my class, we did this in real life and with real solutions, and depending on what class you're in, some classes got farther than others. But as a review, we're going to do this virtually, so there's a simulation online. You can click here to open the simulation, which looks like this. And then also, basically, you need to be filling in all these blanks. If there's italicized text like this, you need to answer it. It might be a good idea to change the color and or the font right up here so that it'll be easier for both you and I to see what you've answered and that you've answered everything. So in the procedure, you're just kind of writing in your own words what is happening here and what is to be done. But this is a colorimeter. It looks definitely a little different than the one that we did, than the one we used in class, in my class, when we did it in real life. But here we have a set of solutions done with some sort of, I guess the percentages are just the concentration. 100% is the maximum. So we want to make sure that we calibrate the solution, and then we can put in the 100, and in each one of these cases we can test the absorbances. So the colorimeter gives us some values. It gives us actually absorbances at different wavelengths. So again, this is a little bit of a different colorimeter, but we want to use the maximum one here, and it's actually plotting it for us right there on the data table. So you're going to find all those absorbances, and then you're also going to test the unknown. And the whole point of Beer's Law is Beer's Law can help use absorbances to find concentrations of things that are unknown. And by the way, if you need to remind yourself anything about Beer's Law, at least in my case of my class, we took those notes on colorimetry, and they're posted to Schoology, and there's a student note sheet that goes with that that's also on Schoology, and so that's available if you wanted to review any of the Beer's Law type stuff. So here it's going to talk to you about, ask me to make a graph in Google Sheets. So I'm going to walk you through that right now if you're unfamiliar with doing that, and showing you exactly what kind of graph that you should make. So we can open up Google Drive and we can make a new Google Sheet right here. Would be one way to do that. So I've already done that, and I've already started plotting some stuff. So I see I have concentration and absorbance, and those are the values that you want to have. Now we want absorbance on the y-axis and concentration on the x-axis. So if you put them in this order, concentration and absorbance, then it plots at x, y like that, at least from what I have seen. So we highlight this data, and by the way, this is data that I just kind of made up. It's different than the data that you're going to get. And I can insert a chart here. That's what I want to do. And it should hopefully make that chart for me. There it is. Now, there are some things that I want to do with this to make it a little bit better. Now, it does seem to have automatically generated a scatter chart. And by the way, if this thing is not there, you can always double click on this. It should automatically make a scatter chart, but in the setup menu, that's where we can change the type of graph that we have. And set a scatter chart is your best bet, and the kind that would be appropriate here. We can do some things like make this title a little better. Like if you click on this, and we've talked, at least in my class, a lot about appropriate titles. So you could fix the title. Let's fix the title. Of course, don't literally write those words, but make it a little bit better maybe. And here you can, now absorbance does not have a unit, so absorbance can be here on our x-axis. Concentration in this case, it does have a unit, it's percentages in this case, but we can change just by clicking on this. We can retitle the axis however we want. So you guys know what a good graph should have, so do your best to make that the best graph possible. So another thing that we need is a best fit line. We want to try to put a linear best fit line through this. That can be found in the series menu. And the main thing we want to do here is a trend line. That's the same as the best fit line, so we're going to click on that, and that's going to make a nice little line here. And maybe there's some other stuff that we could do to play around with this, but I think that's going to be pretty good. And then again, the whole point of Beer's Law is it allows us to find the concentration at any absorbance and vice versa. So if in my case of this graph right here, if something's absorbance was let's say like 6.5 or something like that. And we can rescale these axes too and things like that. I guess I probably should say it's a little bit, let's say it was a little bit below 6, like let's say it was 0.58. Then I could find the concentration just by crossing down and reading the graph. So you can, as the instructions ask, you can copy this and you can paste it into your document. You can always just, if you click outside of it, what you want, or one of the ways to copy it would be to click up in this little guy and just go copy chart. That's one thing you can do. It should also work if you just hit Control-C, at least on a Windows machine. If you hit Control-C while you're got the graph highlighted there, that should also work. And then we could just go ahead and, where you have some room, you can just pop that guy in there. And I think we want to just go ahead and paste that unlinked. Otherwise, I guess the only difference is it would link me to your data table, which I don't necessarily need to see. So you can paste them in there unlinked, and then go ahead and answer these questions to the best of your ability. That's it. Thanks for watching, and be sure to let me know if you have any other questions. Have a good day.